Okay, guys, welcome to our Stay True team call. Tonight is July 14th, and we have a ton of stuff going on right now as we're leading up to Summit. And if you're not going to Summit, then please try to get there next year. As soon as we start Summit, you'll probably see promotions for next year's Summit and everything. And I would just encourage you to get on board, attend, just pack it up and go and experience it. It's pretty amazing. Yes, it is extremely hot, especially this time of year, which, is kind of a bummer, but, it's something that we can all deal with. We deal with heat here in Ohio as well, but so that's coming up. There's Country Heat is going to be released at Summit, so that's exciting to see. On July 18th, in our online office, or your Beachbody On Demand, rather. So on your Beachbody On Demand, you guys will be able to get a sneak peek of one of the workouts for Country Heat. And I was just on a call with Carl Deichler and Jamie, who hit his Success Club 6 last month. So he got the Success Starter call with Carl Deichler, and he was talking about Country Heat and the promotion they're running on the 18th where you can try it and everything. And it sounded, he was saying that the results from Country Heat, he said, have been more effective than the results that they got when they tested the 21-day fix. So I was like, that's crazy. That doesn't even make sense. I don't know. So I'm kind of excited to see. I don't know if it's just, more motivating, or it's not really people feeling like they're working out, so they're putting more into it. I don't know what the deal is, but that's what he said on the call. So I don't know. I'm kind of anxious to see, me being an analytical nerd, I'm kind of anxious to see those numbers. And speaking of numbers and everything, you guys should have received this past week an email from Beachbody telling you about your Coach Business Center, how it's performing versus last year at the same time. And, for me, it was pretty motivating and everything to look at the numbers and see where I'm weak at this year, where I need to improve or how much I can improve. And so if you guys have any questions about those and you want to talk about them individually with me, I'd be more than happy to do that. And, just kind of get you to wrap your minds around that report and that, I guess, analysis that they sent to all the coaches. So, all right, so that is really all the announcements right now that I can think of off the top of my head here. I'm going to go ahead and talk about or announce this past week's Stay True volume point leaders, which we didn't have as many volume point leaders this week. Again, you have to have over 100 points in order to qualify to make the picture, so to speak, the picture that I create here on my phone. So I know you couldn't see any of that, but All right, but leading the way this past week and totally crushing it and blowing everybody completely out of the water was Dan Barry with 1,097 points. And that does not include Jill's Business Center. I didn't even look or see. That is Dan Barry, his business center. So big congrats to Dan. It's, we don't see too many or too often coaches hit that 1,000 point mark. And I know he's done that a couple times the past, couple months. So keep doing that, Dan. That's awesome. Followed right behind, well, not right behind, but followed behind Dan was Beth. She had 285 points. Jennifer Novak had 285 points. Gretchen Namath had 226 points. Stephanie Lieb had 210 points. Jessica Meg, 195 points. Heather Lettermoser, 195 points. Laura Antonucci, 160 points. Courtney Miller, 140 points. Kyle Hambling, 135 points. Tina Sparks, 135 points. Renee Kilborn, 132 points. Mark Lodato, 105 points. And Eugene Parker, 105 points. So a couple things from that, guys. Good job to everybody. I didn't make the list this week, so I'm pissed. I want to I want to get back on that list. I noticed that and I was like, wait, what? What's going on here? I had to like reboot or relog and reload the page, and I just wasn't believing what I was seeing. So just goes to show you that, you know, we all need to stay on top of our business. Knowing that this past week was a low volume point week for me, then I'm going to do everything I can next month to get more orders during this week so that it doesn't remain to be a low week during the month, but I won't get into that. So, but okay, so let's jump off that topic and jump into the reason why we're on the call. We're having this call tonight so that a couple of our team members can share with us what they're utilizing to stay in touch with their existing customers. It's pretty easy, as you've seen, guys, that when you have customers who are active in challenge groups, you're interacting with them, you're talking to them, you're messaging them, and so it's fairly simple and easy to say, okay, yeah, you feel connected with those customers. However, when you get off track, or when they drop out of a challenge group, or they don't join your next challenge group, or it's been a couple months and you haven't heard from them, then, you know, it's important that we reach out to them, communicate with them. Even if we don't hear responses back from them, just keep reaching out to them. And the easiest way to do that is through email. It's interesting. I've been doing some training with a company on marketing right now, and their number one thing when they asked me, you know, what was my marketing plan, and we started talking about Beachbody, and you know how Beth and we have combined, I think, over 1,200 customers or so that we could reach out to. And I was kind of complaining to the guy, you know, well, you know, you hear about Facebook advertising, you hear about this, you hear about that, it takes money, and I don't want to spend much money right now on that, or I'd love to, but, you know, I just don't have it to spend like some, you know, $500 a month or something like that. So he was like, well, why? He said, now, he didn't even mention anything about me spending money on ads or doing anything like that. He said, look at what you have. He said, don't look at what you don't have. Look at what you have, and are you marketing effectively to those people who have already purchased from you? And, you know, it kind of made me stumble a little bit, and I was like, well, you know, yeah, I am. And he's like, well, are you reaching out to them once or twice a week in an email? And I was guilty. No, I was like, once a month we send out an email with the new deals going on. And he said, okay, that's good, but you're trying to sell them, or you're trying to just tell them about a sale going on. He said, you need to be adding value to them and bringing them value throughout the month. And, you know, he even recommended twice a week to send a bulk email out to everybody with something of value. And then that got my mind thinking, okay, where do you find something of value? If you're working this 1 hour a day, how do you quickly find something of value to share with your customers, or share with people, you know, that you might have on an email list if you've started to build that? If you haven't, you know, we can have a one-off conversation and we can talk about, you know, who should be on that list and how to start building that. But basically, you know, you look at some of the top coaches, and I keep hearing, you know, like Melanie Mitro, for example. If you go look at her website, I haven't done this, but I've heard from a couple of other coaches that her website, her recipes, her blog, her everything is a lot of just repeat of what was on the Beachbody blog and what was the Beachbody recipes and everything like that. So we have that resource. If you go to, you know, the Coach 411 page, or the Team Beachbody coach page on Facebook, you'll see information that you can easily take from there, because your customers, more than likely, they're not going to Beachbody and checking that stuff out, you know. So you can easily take that information, duplicate it. If you want to put it in your own words, you could. If you want to just send it to them, just so you're sending them something of value, so that when they see your emails, they actually start opening them, and they don't just say, oh, that's another email from Glenn, he's just trying to, you know, tell me about a challenge pack. You want them to start to see that you're bringing them value. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Courtney now. Courtney, she's going to tell us about a tool that she uses in order to reach out to her customers. So for some reason, Courtney, give me one sec.
Were you trying to mute me?
Yes, thank you. I couldn't do it. I don't know what was going on. All right, I'm having technical difficulties tonight. So
You're having a rough night.
I am. Okay, go ahead, Courtney. Tell us about what you use.
So I don't know about you guys, but like the first 9 months of my business, I struggled to find a way to be organized, and I would have pieces of paper with people's names on it, like all over the house. It wasn't good. It was bad. And it was something that I struggled with. And I hated it because I didn't know how to tell my coaches how to be organized. So I searched for some stuff, and someone finally told me about Teamzy. It was created by a Beachbody coach. And I'll be honest with you, it is probably the best investment I've made for my business, just because it keeps me on task when I have to do my power hour. And if I'm fast enough about it, I can get everything I need done in 30 minutes. Just because I use this tool, it keeps me organized. The cool thing is that you can try it free for 30 days. So I've even told my coaches, even if you do not pay for it after the month, start using it, because it gets you into a groove. Like if you're using it daily and doing it, you're going to see exactly how beneficial it is if you just continue doing it. It is $30 a month after the first 30 days. But you do not have to give any credit card information when you first sign up, which I don't know if that bothers anybody, but you don't have to. They won't charge you unless you decide to go ahead and buy it. So if you guys are cool with it, I'll just share it with you so you can see kind of what it does. You can't see the beginning just because I've already set up, but the first thing it does is it asks you for your goals. So it even had me go in and say, how much money do you want to make this year? So I put in a number, and then it calculated for me based on, whatever your number is. This is how many people you need to be reaching out to a day. This is how many people you need to be adding to Facebook. It tells me every day, this is what you need to hit your goal. So that was kind of nice. And then it also will import all your Facebook contacts, which I don't know about you guys, but once you start getting over 1,000, you do not want to be typing in those names at all. So it's kind of nice. They'll import it for you. And then you can actually do an update all the time if you want, or there's every day when I'm adding people, I just do an add contact really quick and keep it in there. But that's a nice place to do it. So let me share my screen with you so you guys can see this. Okay, so can everybody see it? Okay, so this is the dashboard. This is basically their home screen. And at the top here where it says today's activities, these circled numbers will start at 0, and it will tell you, like mine actually tell me I need to reach out to 3 new prospects every day, contact 2 of my customers, contact 1 of my coaches, total invites over here, and then I don't know if you can see over here, but it says how many new people did you add. Also down here it has daily, so did you post to social media? Did you do your personal development? You click those every day, and it keeps track of it for you. Now here's where it gets really nice and what I love about it. So I don't know how many of you, but you need to reach out to 3 people and invite 3 people every day to a challenge group. But the problem is you never know who, right? That's what I struggle with. And this is why this was the game changer for me. It tells you down here, it gives you 5 options. These are the 5 people that are prospects from Facebook. This is who you talk to. This is who you connect with. That made it so much easier because it wasn't even me thinking, oh, who have I not talked to? They just give you 5 options. You click on that person, you go to Facebook, you find them, you have a conversation. Then over here on the right, I copy and paste that conversation in here. So if I invite them to a challenge group, if I just started a conversation, whatever it is, I put it in there. Then you can go to select type. So that way was it an email, a text, Facebook, whatever. Then you can click on invite. And they even have options of a free group, challenge group, or business opportunity. You save it and it's got that information. And then it's going to give you that information later. So if you pull someone up 6 months later and you're like, oh, what did we talk about? You don't have to go back to Facebook and look, it's all right there. It will tell you the date. It'll tell you what the conversation was. So that's what I really liked about it. When you go through, when you load people from Facebook, one of the things it asks you to do is to give everybody a star rating 1 to 5. So people who you mark as 1, you're only going to talk with them maybe once every 6 months. People who are 5, you'll probably talk to monthly. So you rate, like, I don't usually work with other men. So all the men on my group are 1 stars just because I prefer to work with women, and that's what I like. But it also lets you go in and say who your customers are. So here are all my customers. And, I talk to 2 people a day, so I can do that. It's easy to change them to your customers. Here are my coaches. And then the other thing that's nice is, let's say I talked to someone and they said, talk to me next week, or I'm on vacation, whatever. You can put in there when you want them to follow up, and then it will tell you what day to do that. It'll even give you like a pop-up reminder that day when you log in. So I like that as well. Let's see. Let me show you an example so you can see. I just talked to this girl today, and she bought a challenge pack, so I know she won't mind. But, okay, so this is when you bring up an individual. Okay, so on the right here, so if you have a conversation with them, you hit connect. If you make a sale out of it, you can put in, was it a challenge pack, shake, or whatever. You put in the sales amount, the commission, and that's going to keep up with how much money you're making, so it can keep you on track. The other thing I really like down here, the activity feed, here are all the conversations we've had. And then it even says, you had a sale on this date, and she bought a challenge pack. All right. One of the other really cool things that I like about this is you can put tags in here, which means I forget where to do it, but there's a place in here where you put tags, and basically, like, I tag people who tell me, like, right now I'm big on advertising a 21-day fix because it's on sale, and people know that, but they're like, oh, well, I can't do it this month. Okay, well, how about I let you know the next time it's on sale? Great. So I'll tag them 21-day fix sale. And then when it does go on sale again, you can look at your tags, and then anybody who you tagged, you can go in, and that's who you want to message. Or I even do it when I'm like, this is a possible coach prospect who I want to give a few weeks in my challenge group before I talk with them about. So that's kind of the gist of it. And for Glenn, you will like this. But down here, like, this kind of gives you an overall look of how you're doing. So you can see that, like you can tell Saturday and Sunday, I don't usually work my business. Tuesday, I was not home, so I didn't get to work it. But, it kind of keeps track of you. So if you're having trouble figuring out, why you're not getting to Success Club or whatnot, you can kind of look at that and see if you're doing what you need to. And then one other thing that's just kind of nice is over here, you can see my why. They have you put that in there. And that's kind of nice. When I didn't log in on Tuesday, because it knows that I usually log in Monday through Friday, I got an email from them, and it said, do you need to be reminded of your why? And it had my why in an email. And I thought that was kind of cool that they would take the time to do that. So that is Teamzy. But does anybody have any questions about it? Is there anything you want to see about it?
So, Courtney, we can't see if anybody does. So if you do have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself and ask it. But I have a question about, does it allow you to plug in your strong leg and your weekly volume from each of your legs?
I haven't seen it. It doesn't mean it's not out there.
I was just curious because it talks about, if it talks about income, when 95% of our income in Beachbody is from the, your team and what their activities and everything like that. I just was curious to see if it had anything like that.
You would think there would be because, yeah, you would get those bonus commissions.
Sure.
It's a good question.
Okay. Well, that's my only question about it. Does anyone else have any questions? No questions. I think that's a pretty cool app. I didn't. Now, is there an app for your phone, a mobile device, or is it just on your laptop?
It isn't, there isn't an actual app, but if you log in on your phone, it is mobile friendly.
Sure.
So I've done that on the go. Like I can quickly put in a conversation I had. But yeah.
Okay, and that's $30 a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Courtney, I know that you did pretty extensive research before you decided to go with something. How do you feel? Because I think a lot of coaches truly understand where you're coming from when they say it's hard to stay organized and follow up. How would you say that Teamzy app has changed your business most?
I would find myself all the time going through my Facebook contacts thinking, who in the world do I contact? This has made me, one, get out of my comfort zone, because those 5 people there, pick 3, message them, and they don't go away. Like that's the other thing. Like you can skip them a week and they're going to come back. So it's one of those, you can't skip them forever. They're just going to keep showing up. So you might as well send the stupid conversation and get over with it. So that's helped me, just because it's almost you're conquering a fear. Like, well, I'm going to have to message him. I might as well just do it now and be done. And, you know, and sometimes it's a quick, hey, how's it going? We haven't talked in forever. It doesn't have to be Beachbody, but then it gets the conversation going. It has been interesting, though, how many people I have thought, oh my gosh, we've not talked since high school. They're not going to want to hear from me. And the conversations get going. And that's been kind of fun. It is really funny. Like literally one of the best challengers I've had in a long time was a college friend of mine. We've not talked in 16 years. And this told me I needed to contact him. And I did. He bought the Hammer and Chisel challenge pack. He's rocking it out. And it's like, you know, that just goes to show I never know. So that's why I like it. It just makes you do it and conquers the fear.
Yeah. See, and it seems too, just by that explanation, you're saving a lot of time too, because you're not searching or cruising, or so you're able to get in and do that power hour that we keep talking about and get it done.
And there is a video out there if you want to watch it, but it does have an algorithm. So based on their star rating, based on the last time you invited them to a challenge, is going to base on the next time you're going to see them in the list to contact them. So you don't have to worry about, oh, has it been 3 months? Can I contact them? They're just going to reappear. So I've noticed my 5 stars a customer I usually put as a 5-star. A 4-star is someone who said yes, but couldn't afford it, or something came up. Those people I notice come every 2 months. So they are being spaced out enough, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's cool. That is a very cool app. And I think, would you say, just like, and I assume this is just like with anything, but have you had any problems with it? It's most of these organization apps or processes, I realize it's garbage in, garbage out. Like if you don't put in your information, it doesn't do its job. So, I mean, are you finding yourself, do you have days where you maybe don't get on, or you take some notes and you forget to log it in? And then, I mean, how on top of it are you? You have to be on it every single day.
I've been on it every single day, Monday through Friday.
Have you ever missed like inputting a conversation, and how does that throw it off?
I did I followed up with someone, like she showed up in there that I've missed following up with her. She actually bought a challenge pack, and I have to go back in and log it. So I do miss some things every now and then, because, you know, when you're on the go, I'm not in the habit yet. But yeah, you can go back in and log it. It does allow you to change the date. So, you know, if you miss the date, it'll let you go back and say, oh, I sold a challenge pack on this day.
Yeah. So I definitely think that's a key point to anybody who's watching the call, is to remember, you do have to do this on a daily basis. If you use the program right, it's going to make your business easier.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Moppy was going to join us tonight and talk about Automatic CEO, but Dan has her back. So Moppy had a family emergency, or I should say urgency, that needed to be taken care of. So she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to get on the call, and I don't see her. So Dan, do you want to go ahead and talk about Automatic CEO and maybe what that does? It's in addition to something like Teamzy.
Yeah, no, I'm going to cancel it and get Teamzy, so we're good. No, I mean, Automatic CEO, it is an automated email responder. And it was made by a Beachbody coach as well. I really like the way that Teamzy one is organized with following up your conversation stuff. But I would say that and I don't have a screen share right now, but Automatic CEO is everything, all content Beachbody. So they do a lot of pre-made emails every month when the special comes out. They send you an email and a text message to say, hey, this month's email is ready to go out. You can go into your Automatic CEO and you can go ahead and send that. And you can obviously highlight all your contacts and send one email, and it goes out to all your customers. And just like Glenn said earlier, in his marketing thing, to do it twice a week, there was a point where I was doing it once a week, and it was beneficial, and I was seeing good response and stuff. And then I just got lazy, and this is part of that garbage in, garbage out. And I started doing just the once a month, new special, let me send that out to everybody, and and I'll be good. But it does get to that point where it starts to feel like sales. So you do have to add that content, but Automatic CEO does help you do that more easily, just like a MailChimp would, just like any of these other email autoresponders. But the difference is they actually upload all your Beachbody contacts. And I would say that's a little bit how Automatic CEO is going to be different than Teamzy. Teamzy is importing Facebook contacts. That's a lot bigger contact list than my Beachbody customer list. So I'm uploading Beachbody customer contacts because really Automatic CEO is only geared towards Beachbody and Beachbody products. So that would probably be, it's very beneficial for me to keep in contact with all my Beachbody customers and those who have bought from me. So it allows them to see my name in front of them, and I don't have to send 1,000 emails. But they also have campaigns that you can use for email autoresponder. So I can set them up in a 7-day or a 15-day, whatever, email autoresponder. For instance, if Glenn buys a challenge pack for me, the 21-day fix, I can set up a string of emails and schedule them to send out on the first day, day 7, day 14, day 21, so that it automatically checks in with Glenn every week. Now, I still need to monitor that and see, is Glenn opening it? Is he responding? Obviously, if he responds to an email, I need to go check my second responder and make sure it's not going to be contradicting what we just talked about, or if I need to unenroll him. So just like I was just talking about with Courtney, any of these programs are going to be great. Any of these apps are going to be great for you in being organized and following up, but it is a system of garbage in, garbage out. So for instance, I have a whole list of customers, and I have a list of every program that Beachbody offers. And as I load them into my Automatic CEO, I have to mark, they're doing Shakeology, they're doing 21-day fix, they're doing the 3-day refresh. Anytime they buy a new product, I have to enter that information, because when I want to do a search, I can search that criteria. Well, if I don't go in there and make sure that criteria is accurate, it's not going to give me an accurate search. So that's part of needing to be doing that on a daily basis and being on top of it, so that you understand your reach.
Can anybody hear me?
That way, but it says you can save 25%. Just click here, sign up. And doesn't mean everybody's going to click on it and sign up, but at least every time they get an email, there's the option to do that. And I think sometimes we forget to do that. So it is nice having those emails already mapped out and kind of strategically placed, because these are top coaches who have created this, and this is what they would use and how they would approach it. So.
Yeah, it's almost like you wish that they would take those two and combine them, and create this perfect little Beachbody customer type. I mean, I know for a fact that Beth and I, we use Automatic CEO for quite some time. and we did get sales from it. We did get people, customers, you know, who did, you know, reach out to us and say, hey, I got your email. I'm really interested in whatever program it was that we were highlighting that month. And we did. So you figure, how much is ACEO? Is it $25?
It's $25 a month. One other thing I want to mention real quick too is you can go into each individual customer and you can see if they opened the email, if they clicked on the link, how many times they clicked it, when they clicked it last. So if I go in and check on a customer that I've been talking to and I see they've clicked the same link 5 times in the last 5 days, that's a red flag or a sign to me that says call them, contact them, message them. Hey, how you doing? I might not be directly saying, hey, you want to buy this? But I know that they're interested. So if I can just get that conversation going, then we're most likely going to come across that topic.
Right, right. And so, you know, if you get one sale from that, then it pays for itself, and then it's going to bring you more than that. So, you know, I would even say, so these two different options that we talked about tonight, Teamzy, $30 a month. This one's ACEO is $25 a month. They do, in my opinion, they focus on 2 different things. One is continuing to market to your client list or, you know, new people through the whatchamacallit, ACEO. And then Teamzy is just keeping you on task and helping you to realize that you need to follow up with people. I think they both are awesome options, you know.
Well, and I definitely have had multiple people buy Shakeology who I've never talked to, and they've done auto ship. So one of those auto ship customers pays for my CEO every month.
Right.
You know, so
right.
It definitely, I think it's a tool, this or Teamzy. I think they're tools worth investing in. People see $25 a month or $30 a month. They think, oh my gosh, I can't have another monthly expense. But if that monthly expense is leading to more profit for you or sales, then it's worth it. That's part of getting out of your comfort zone. That's part of running a business. Every business does have business costs, but those business costs generally are going to generate some income. So you have to be willing to step out of that comfort zone and say, you know what, I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. And if it doesn't, yeah, try it for 30 days. And if it doesn't work out, then write it off to experience and try something else. But if you're serious about this business and wanting to do it, it's a good business. Then you have to take risks like that sometimes. And $30 is a small risk to take.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would suggest, if you think that your area of struggle, evaluate where you struggle as a coach and think about that, and, you know, call your sponsor and just talk to them about what they think would help you out the most, you know, which of these two may be most beneficial for you. You know, if you're not good at keeping track of things or you need help in that, then the Teamzy thing might be better for you. Automatic CEO, that provides marketing material for you. So it's kind of like 2 different things. You've got your marketing department and your automatic CEO, and then you've got your, I guess it's still kind of marketing, but just your, you know, touching base or reaching out to people with the Teamzy. So yeah, I like them both.
Yeah. Well, and it's almost, I'm sitting here, I'm probably going to invest in that Teamzy and give it a try, just because it's like your own personal assistant without hiring an assistant. So, I mean, think about hiring somebody to do all that for you. What do you pay them? More than $30 a month, probably. So.
Well, I had, you know, we had a virtual assistant from the Philippines, and we were paying her $60 a week.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is still cheap, but, you know, it's still less. This is still a lot less than that. So, but does anybody have any questions? I see Beth called in. I'm going to unmute her to see if she has any questions. Give me a second. I'm going to unmute all. Okay. Everybody's unmuted. Any questions? Comments?
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jen.
I'm still having issues with the with the home director taking out my coach fees, but they're not sending my Shakeology or my Activate. And I'm afraid to call them like I did that one month where they said I ordered